Are you allowed to speak of the most difficult mission you had to face through your tenure? Just a bit of it, like, or what you found, to be challenging.
Yeah. Only one. And I'll tell you what was challenging about it. But I enjoyed my life in the special forces, constantly evolving, no? Constantly at the cutting edge.
And every combat situation is new. And it
Yeah,
teaches
yeah,
you
yeah.
something.
Like for every day, every day, circumstances are different. The people you meet are different. Things that happen to you are different. The different food that you eat, etc., etc. There is variety in life. Similarly, in combat, there is no combat situation is the same. None whatsoever. And in my case, what I got to experience was I've never had the good fortune of sitting and waiting and in a perfect situation where you just go crack and it's over. It's never happened like that with me. What has happened with me is that I have reached a certain place, reached there, and then things have played. Like all my contacts that I've had are moving contacts, moving flashes, crack finish, like that. Prolonged battle as like very few times where something prolonged into something. And it's like so the most challenging thing I ever found was when one of my guys got injured. But that was the calmest I've ever been. I was able to extract that man from death. It was, when I say I mean my team. We were a very small team, very few guys, heavily laden with combat gear and all the things that you need in various kinds of situations that may come up during combat. You're not going to get a chance to go home and, oh, I forgot this, I'll get that. Not happening, brother. So what does happen is that years and years of experience. At that point where you've been able to calculate every damn thing and reach that situation as prepared as you can be in equipment, in training, in mindset, in experience, and etc. All of that crunched into that, 4 or 5 minutes or 1-2 minutes or whatever. So we were in a very, 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 very difficult place, and guys blew up, and yeah. It was like I was looking at that guy and I was thinking, no, he's dead. He's going to die right in front of my eyes. We are like brothers, because in combat, like I said, there is no major, captain, colonel, brigadier. All that doesn't exist there. What exists in combat is love.
Is love?
Yes. I love my men. I used to love them. It's love. Only love can penetrate like that. Nothing else. Only love can be that efficient. Yes. So it's that love which forms after trust. Trust comes before love. So then the love comes, and then with that love vibration, you can fucking penetrate anything. So at that point of time, when I was seeing this guy, and what a guy, man. What a guy. Like his ankle below was gone. There was space there. And then his 1 foot, which had basically blown up, there was only one bone. There's the bone of the longest toe, there was no flesh on it. There was just a bone, and which had broken in like a hook, and there was nothing else there. And this guy was he had his hands behind his back like this. We extracted him in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I'd formed a protective circle around him. And we were pumping him with morphine. We were pumping him with IV. We had put in IV. We had put in tetanus. We'd bandaged the wound. He was spurting blood like a machine. Every time he would pump, he would spray blood like that. And within 5 minutes, we had sorted him out. We had brought the blood down to a trickle, and we had administered what was needed to be done. There was no doctor there. It was just us. So we are trained to be able to handle something like that. And then it goes into instinct. And only love can actually get something out like that. So that guy had such fucking balls on him. He was like this, and he was just looking at his foot like that, just looking. He wasn't saying anything, and I was just looking. If this guy starts screaming right now, because he's staring death in the face, he is so calm. He knows he's going to die now. He knows it. So while we were doing that, I was looking at him. What is he going to do? When is he going to start screaming? He did not scream. So while we were doing it, and then there was a little piece of his heel which was hanging off. So we were trying to put it back on the bone and then trying to, bind it up, because it will be needed later when he it'll become a stump. So the stump can take the prosthetic, right? So we were just putting that heel back so that he has some cushioning and all later on in life. And he was just looking like that, and that's when he opened his mouth and he said that, "Isko kaat ke fek do." So basically, just chop it off and throw it away. Just do it, whatever you're doing. So we told him and just did what we had to do. And at that point of time, so at that point it had taken us like 48 hours to reach there down a jagged mountain. We had fixed ropes and whatnot to reach there. But then to fucking pull him out from there, it has taken us 2 nights of climbing down. And this guy is going to die very, very soon. He knows that there is no way humanly possible for him to reach medical attention, the kind of emergency medical attention he requires right now. But we did it, yeah. There's a guy we were like laden with, I was carrying about 30-35 kgs as a team commander, right? So imagine what all of us were carrying. And when we started, like, we did not go like this, like that or something. Just straight away, like that, we went like that, like a fucking rocket. Sita just fucking picked him up, surrounded him. There was a guy on my team, a very young guy. And he was like a big man. And he was relatively new. And it was his like first combat experience and all. That's what I'm talking about, love. So he just lifted that guy on his back, right? Just lifted that guy on his back and said, "I'll climb." And we needed that. We needed that at that point because of various reasons, blood flow, blah, blah, blah.
And there's probably enemies around.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, there are enemies around and they know what's up. So they're hunting you now. So you have to get out. Not because you're afraid or anything of combat. That's what you've come here for. We're like, bring them on, man. We were fucking like that. Bloody, 6 of us, if we were at that stage, if we got surrounded by whoever, it would take them 1 year to kill us. 1 year. Unless they bloody bombed the area. That level. So when this guy picked him up, this, let's call him A. So A picked up the guy who had blown off his leg. This guy started saying, no, put me down, I'll walk and go. That's what he was saying. His leg is gone, like his ankle below gone. And he's saying that, no, you put me down, I'll walk and go. I'll carry my weapon. He was carrying his IV bottle in one hand, in which he was getting IV fluid inside his body. And he was carrying his weapon. He was saying, no, I'll walk. So I had to tell him, "Yeah, brother, please climb on his back." So he said, okay, let it go. So he climbed on his back and we were going, and there was this huge rock in that nala where this guy put his foot on to climb up, and that huge rock like rolled onto his shin bone. And he just sat down, and the guy who was carrying the other fellow, he just sat down, caught his foot like this, and like about 30-40 seconds he was like this, and then he got up and told him, "You climb again." And we started climbing, and we had him extracted by 3:30 a.m. in the morning. I had him on the fucking helipad, man. And he was out, and then, whatever. So that was pretty intense, yeah. So that particular situation, like it was so much of intense hard work and planning and guts and balls and fucking whatnot had gone into being there at that point of time. And it was a long plan, days and days of stretch there in that position. And on the 5th day, in the morning, I started getting a feeling of dread. It's the first time I felt dread in combat. I've never felt dread or fear or anything. just there's no mind space for all of that. You are in combat and you start feeling fear, you're not going to get out of your life. And it's a natural body instinct, fight or flight. So you're in the fight mode, man. So at that point of time, on that 5th day, and we had a long stretch ahead of us, on that 5th day, in the morning, and I was just thinking, and this dread started building. And by around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, I wanted to get out from there. I wanted to leave that. And I just kept thinking, in 12 years, this is the first time I want to leave combat. I don't want to be here. I want to get out. Why? So I was thinking, trying to use my mind to understand what am I feeling. So it was so fucking intense, right? You can't ignore it. You can't suppress it. That kind of dread was coming in. So I was thinking, why is this? It had never happened to me before. Before, all the intuitions I had was that like something is going to happen and I've gone in to take it, right? But this was, I wanted to get out. So I was thinking, why? So I was thinking, maybe what do I want to get back to? I want to get back up there where there'll be a warm blanket and there'll be some rum to drink and there'll be some chicken to eat and all of that, because it's starving and all of that, right? So I was thinking maybe I've become lazy. I've become lazy in my head. I've spent so much time in this thing, and now I'm becoming like the other guys who left because they couldn't handle it anymore. So I've become like that. I'm becoming lazy. That's why I want to go. So I told, fucking no way. I'm not going back for that reason. So I stayed put. But the dread kept becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the first time I smoked in combat. I couldn't help it. I just pulled out a fucking cigarette. To suppress that dread, it had reached such a bloody level. You can't tell that to the other guys sitting around you. Yeah, because you're leading them. So it was just, I was processing inside and thinking, and I think by around 4:30 in the evening, I was like, I had pressed my radio set button and I was going to tell the other guys, we were like 2 squads out, right? I was going to tell the other squad, extract, get out, come to me, and we'll get out from here. I'd pressed the switch and I was going to pass, and I left it. I decided at that point, no, I'll see this through. I'm not going from here, because I couldn't understand why I want to get out. So I just crushed that feeling of wanting to get out and I stayed put, and around 20-25 minutes later, boom. And then 5 minutes of radio silence. So I knew some shit has gone bad. Various permutations, combinations came in my head. There were people, my own squad guys telling me, open the radio, ask them what's up, what's happened. I knew shit has hit the fan. The guy who's leading that squad, right? I was leading 2 squads. So the guy who's leading that squad, that small team. So I was waiting for him. 5 minutes I waited, sitting on the radio, waiting for him, because I knew he's in chaos right now. He's in fucking chaos right now. And the last thing he fucking needs to hear from me is what the fuck is going on. He'll fucking handle it, yeah. That's what he's been trained for. And at the end of the day, either God is walking with us or not, yeah. We'll find out, right? We'll see. So 5 minutes, I just waiting. And he came on the radio and told me, shit has hit the fan, guy's blown his leg. So then you cannot lose another guy, because you will not be able to extract, because then the load will become too heavy. So you cannot have another casualty, trying to extract another casualty. So we did certain things after that, at that point of time. And that was a situation that you're not taught. You see it, experience it. So that heart, that confidence in love, and the skill sets and your experiences, all of that crunched together gives you fucking clarity like nobody's business. And with that clarity, you're able to go in and then face what is there. And in that particular case, we were able to successfully extract the guy.
Yeah.